For many people, sports are much more than a hobby. Devoted fans will follow their teams religiously and support them through successes and failures alike. And all of this is highly lucrative for these sports franchises. From ticket sales to merchandise and endorsements, sports teams find numerous ways to monetize their fans' passion. Today, we are counting down the top 10 most valuable sports franchises in the world. One of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises, the Washington Redskins were founded in 1932 as the Boston Braves. The team changed its name to the Redskins in 1933, and in 1937 the team relocated to Washington, D.C., and immediately won the first of its 5 world championships. In addition to the NFL championship game victories in 1937 and 1942, the Redskins have won 3 Super Bowls. All of this means big business for the NFL team. The Redskins once claimed to have a waiting list for season tickets of as many as 200,000 people. Washington, D.C. has a massive metropolitan area, meaning a huge fan base. And D.C. is a generally high-income area, so these fans can pay exorbitant prices to support their team. They have an annual revenue around $491 million and an overall valuation of $3.1 billion, making them tied for the 10th most valuable sports franchise in the world. The franchise has played over 1,000 games in the last century and are one of only 5 teams to clock more than 600 career wins. Though the team's mascot is highly controversial for its associations with the mistreatment of Native Americans, the franchise is highly profitable. They set the NFL record for single-season attendance in 2007 and have the top 10 single-season attendance totals in the NFL. Tied for the 10th spot with a $3.1 billion valuation are the Golden State Warriors. The Oakland-based team has its roots in Philadelphia, where the franchise was founded in 1946. Over the course of its history, the Warriors have won 5 NBA titles, 2 from Philadelphia and 3 from the Oakland squad. The team has hosted some of the greatest players in the game, like Wilt Chamberlain, Rick Barry, and Stephen Curry. The Warriors are a juggernaut on and off the court. The team won its 3rd NBA title in 4 years during the 2017-18 season. The team has managed to capitalize on its success with record-breaking deals. The Warriors secured a record $2 billion in contractually obligated income from sponsorships, suites, and season ticket holder fees for the team's new arena. The $1 billion Chase Center was scheduled to open ahead of the 2019-2020 season. The Warriors rule the airwaves as well, with the highest local TV ratings for the 3rd straight year at an average of 8.36 on NBC Sports Bay Area. Similar to the Redskins, the Golden State Warriors benefit from an affluent and populous fan base in the Bay Area. With their current era of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, known as the Splash Brothers, leading the team, it looks like the Warriors will only become more popular and more profitable. Experts predict they will be valued at $3.5 billion in the next year. The New York Giants franchise almost perished in the early days of the NFL. The late Tim Mara, now a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, purchased the franchise for $500 in 1925. And before the Giants' first season had ended, he had invested another $25,000 to keep the franchise alive. The value of New York exposure was clearly demonstrated in December of the first season, when more than 70,000 turned out at the Polo Grounds to see the Giants play the Chicago Bears, who had just signed Red Grange, the most famous pro football player of the 1920s. Fast forward to now, the Giants have won 8 NFL championships in their history and are one of the most valuable teams in the world with a whopping $3.3 billion valuation. They are bolstered by a $493 million annual profit and a huge fan base in New York City and the surrounding area. Their stadium alone is valued at $550 million. Even though they just finished a disastrous losing season, the franchise has been around for almost 100 years and has multiple generations of devoted fans willing to shell out for tickets and merchandise. Across the country is the NBA team tied for the 8th most valuable franchise in the world. The team was originally based in Minneapolis. Given that Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes, they settled on the Lakers. When the Lakers moved to Los Angeles before the 1960 season, their nickname was retained, in part because of the tradition the team had established in Minnesota. The Lakers are by far one of the most successful basketball teams in history, with 16 NBA championships, the 2nd most in the league, hosting legends like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and Wilt Chamberlain. The team has gained a rabid following. The team is currently valued at $3.3 billion according to Forbes. Hosted in the Staples Center, the team charges an average of $135 a ticket. With a capacity of 19,000 people, that means the team pulls in $395 million every year. The stadium itself is worth $573 million, meaning the franchise will retain its value for decades to come. Continuing the trend of teams with a New York fan base, The New York Knicks are number 7 on our list, with a valuation of $3.6 billion. The New York Knicks are one of the oldest teams in the NBA, having played in the league for over 70 years. Originally called the New York Knickerbockers, the New York Knicks have a long and storied history, which includes 8 conference titles, 2 NBA championships, and scores of great players. They've retired 9 numbers, had a regular season MVP, 2 NBA Finals MVPs, several All-Stars, and numerous Hall of Famers. Though the average NBA team is worth just $1.9 billion, the Knicks are worth almost double, making them the single most valuable basketball team in the world. Apparently, owner James Dolan has even been offered $5 billion in exchange for the team, but he recognizes that they are a good investment, pulling in at least $443 million every single year. And their stadium, Madison Square Garden, is worth $995 million, more than almost any stadium on Earth. Though they are a contentious team within the NFL, the New England Patriots have an undeniably loyal fan base and a long list of accomplishments. The franchise joined the American Football League in 1960 as the Boston Patriots and quickly fielded a competitive team. The Patriots have won 6 Super Bowl titles and 11 American Football Conference championships. In 2001, a serious injury to quarterback Drew Bledsoe paved the way for Tom Brady, a relatively unknown 6th-round draft choice, to take over the Patriots offense and lead the team to a surprising Super Bowl win the following February. Brady would become an elite passer and guide the Patriots to 5 more Super Bowl victories in 2004, 2005, 2015, 2017, and 2019. That means that Brady has made 9 Super Bowl appearances in only 18 seasons. On top of $593 million in annual revenue, the owners used the team's success to build Patriot Place, adjacent to Gillette Stadium, with more than 1.3 million square feet of shopping, dining, and entertainment. That means the team is valued at $3.7 billion, making it the second most valuable team in the NFL. The last New York team on the list, and by far the most profitable, the New York Yankees, are valued at over $4 billion. The New York Yankees organization was founded in Baltimore, Maryland in the year 1901. They originally wanted to be based in New York, but because the New York Giants were already established, they were put in Baltimore. The team, which became known as the Yankees in 1913, rarely contended for the American League Championship before the acquisition of outfielder Babe Ruth after the 1919 season. With Ruth in the lineup, the Yankees won their first American League title in 1921, followed by their first World Series championship in 1923. Since then, the team has hosted such legends as Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, and Derek Jeter. With an annual income of $668 million, the New York Yankees are the most profitable baseball team in the world and the 4th most valuable sports franchise globally. The first international team on our countdown, Barcelona, has been a powerhouse football team for well over a century. FC Barcelona was founded by Swiss businessman Hans Gamper, together with a mix of foreign and Catalan sportsmen, at a time when the exotic game of football was becoming popular amongst the moneyed class of the city of Barcelona in 1899. During their long and immensely successful history, they have won 23 La Liga titles, 27 Copa del Rey trophies, 5 Champions Leagues, and 4 Cup Winners' Cups. As one of the richest and most popular clubs in the world, they can afford to be owned and financed exclusively by their own supporters. Since its inception, Barcelona has been a major symbol of Catalonia and its culture, as evidenced by its motto, which says "more than a club." Putting the rest of the teams on the countdown to shame, Barcelona pulls in $824 million a year and is valued at $4.064 billion. Real Madrid reportedly sold its sponsorship rights to Providence Equity recently for an upfront payment of $224 million over the first 4 years of the deal. Last season represented the start of Barcelona's $246 million shirt sponsorship deal with Japanese e-commerce group Rakuten, as well as the start of a 10-year agreement with Nike worth at least $174 million annually. Real Madrid CF are a professional football club based in Madrid, Spain. To date, they have been crowned champions of Europe a record 13 times. The club was founded in 1897 by some of the first individuals ever to bring the game to Spain. Real Madrid has won more Spanish La Liga championships than any other Spanish squad. The club has also won the Copa del Rey, the main Spanish cup competition, 19 times, as well as 9 Spanish Super Cups. Needless to say, they have been a major force in the sport for more than a century. With a valuation of $4.09 billion, they are the 3rd most valuable team of any kind on Earth. Similar to Barcelona, they make $896 million every single year and show a 5% annual growth margin, meaning they're projected to be worth $5 billion in the next decade. Believe it or not, this legendary football team was once known as Newton Heath LYR Football Club by the Carriage and Wagon Department of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Depot at Newton Heath. This was in 1878, and the franchise quickly discovered that the unwieldy name was not good for business. Thus, they simplified to Manchester United. They are, together with Liverpool, England's most successful football clubs ever. The Red Devils have more national titles than Liverpool, but the rival has collected more titles in international tournaments. The club has a valuation of $4.123 billion, making it the second most valuable sports team in the world. Though their revenue is only $795 million, they have lucrative endorsement deals with brands like Kohler. Add in broadcasting rights worth $1.3 billion, and you have the raw materials for an absolute dynamo sports club. Coming in at number 1 with a valuation far beyond any other team on earth is the Dallas Cowboys. Founded in 1960 and nicknamed America's Team, the Dallas Cowboys are worth $4.8 billion. Revenue exceeds $894 million annually, and AT&T Stadium is worth $1.13 billion. With some of the most fanatical supporters in the world, the Cowboys can count on a steady stream of income. It is also the first NFL franchise to partner with a casino. WinStar is located 85 miles north of AT&T Stadium in Oklahoma. Sports betting is not legal in Oklahoma, but the state has introduced legislation to do so. The Cowboys' sponsorship revenue is the most in the NFL, and nearly twice as much as any other franchise. Though they were far from the first team to join the NFL, they have 8 Super Bowl appearances and 5 league championships. They have been the top-grossing NFL team 12 years in a row and show no signs of slowing down.